It all started with a small SaaS company in Finland. Today, it's used in over 80 countries around the world. The journey, anything but easy. Lessons learned, key insights, hard-earned experiences. This is the founder's point of view.
Hi and welcome to Founder's Point of View vlog and podcast. What are we going to talk today, Jone?
We are going to talk today about founding a company, what it takes to found a company.
Alright, super interesting topic. I think technically it's quite easy, at least here in Finland. You can just go to Patent and Registry Office and take your organization ID and that's it. But I assume we are talking about the things you should do before applying for your organizational ID, right?
Yeah, I think we should talk about more like things that what you should do before and what you need to be sure that you have at least that kind of information on a paper before founding a company and before especially jumping off from your current fixed salary job.
Exactly. If you think about Trustmary's journey so far, I think the first part of this discussion would be an idea. We had a great idea and it was somehow a little bit personal to you and your own company back then and so on. Would you like to tell a bit more about that?
Yeah, I see that you need to have a great idea and especially great problem to solve. You really need to allow the problem of your clients enough that you will have enough energy to do the things needed to manage everything when founding a company and when getting the cash flow and serve your clients well enough. And back then, 2016, when we founded the company, I had done tens of different kind of projects where I produced high quality testimonial videos and articles to companies to build more trust on their website, and with help of that increased trust they were able to get more leads and demand from the web and online. And I was pretty sure that every time you add more social proof and reviews and customer feedback and everything to your website, that will have a big influence on conversion rate of the website. Because I had done that many times before.
Yeah.
And that's why I really trusted that the idea I got was good, and I was very sure that we are able to do cash flow and business with help of that idea and laying on that idea. And I pitched that a lot to you, for example, and tried to explain that it is, and I told you the stories that every time if we put the social proof to the two websites, the similar website with the similar traffic, the similar quality of the traffic, similar amount of the traffic, and the website is same, but the other website is having the reviews and the social proof. And in the end, after the test, that other website with the reviews will always get more demand and more leads.
Yeah.
And this is so objectively good results and good value that you can bring. And when we are telling that story to our clients, to our potential clients in future, they will get interested at least.
Yeah.
If our concept is well enough designed and we are good serving and producing that content, we will do good business with that.
Exactly. And if I remember correctly, you had also pitched that idea to the potential customers before we even applied for our business ID first time and so on, and we continued that together, and it was pretty clear that the idea is good and we can have paying customers pretty soon and so on. So the idea was great, and that's actually a really good point.
I've heard a problem market fit.
Yeah, exactly. And you can definitely test that before you get your organization ID, because it's like in practice it's even possible to close first deals with your potential customers before you even get like the proper company. So that's our first advice. Try to sell it before you start your company.
Yeah, and because the money is the how much you are able to get the money from the problem you are solving is the problem you are solving is telling you that how big the problem actually is, and maybe the idea is great, the problem is very visionary to do, and you will be very happy about it to solve that problem, but no one is caring that actually much enough.
Yeah, exactly. So what's next? What comes after the idea part?
After the idea, when you are sure that the problem you are solving is big enough, and there is a lot of people who are having that kind of problem, not only your auntie or your mother, but also that there is a lot of people having that problem. You know that the market is big enough, and so maybe and you have done the calculations based on that market analysis, that how much revenue you would get if you will get 10%, 1% or something about the potential market. Then you should focus on the team, that what kind of competence you will need, what would be the ideal team to serve those clients and build the concept, and ideally of course you will be the number one of the team. You should be the number one people in that team. Yeah, but that is the second topic, that you need to be sure that you will have enough competence and enough understanding around the solving the problem well enough.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, from my personal point of view, I strongly recommend you to think, if it's your case, to found your own company alone or together with someone. Because, for example, for me, it really wasn't an option to found my own company alone back then. I felt like I needed a team from the start to found it together with me, and that's why it has been one of my best choices to jump to your kind of team when you asked me to be your co-founder and so on. Because I wasn't really entrepreneurial guy back then. Now I am, because I've done this almost 10 years now. But then I had some skills what we needed for founding a company, but I think I wasn't brave enough to do it alone. Yeah. So that's also one point to think about.
And it is said, and they have started the teams from the very successful companies who have been the founding team of those great companies, and they have seen that in those teams there have been many different kind of personalities.
Yeah.
Not just people focusing on and liking to execute things, but also someone who is the visionary, who is taking the most care about the vision and the mission. And then there are people who love and like to execute things and iterate the processes, and of course there are also someone who are analyzing the future and the plans and
asking questions. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We have had that kind of team since we started. I think that without that kind of team, we wouldn't be able to go through all of those bottlenecks and issues we have faced during the years.
Yeah, I agree that completely. And I think that the third part of founding a new business is that you have to be brave and you have to kind of test lots of different ideas, even though your mom and your relatives and best friends keep saying that those are stupid ideas and are you sure about those? Of course you are not sure, you are just testing, but that's what you need to do if you wanna find those things that moves you towards success and learn you like new things.
Commercial break. Trustmary in 30 seconds.
Trustmary helps companies to automate the review and feedback collection and utilizing in their marketing.
We are a Finnish company, but we are already operating in 80 different countries.
Our product is especially designed for the companies doing service-oriented business coming from traditional industries.
If you need any help related to these topics, just reach us out on LinkedIn. We are happy to help.
And now back to the story.
What do you think about that? Personally, I think that having 4 different co-founders and different personalities, different kind of competence and so on, that's something which like forms pretty safe environment to do different kind of tests and so on. What do you think?
Yeah, I really liked it that there is more than one founder, because you will need a lot of different kind of abilities and capabilities to manage all the things you are going to face as a founder and when founding a startup. And the third thing after that, when you are sure that the problem is big enough, you know that there is a team well enough and you have all the people needed to start doing something, then you should have and set the goals and the first strategy, and that strategy can be built before founding a company. You can have the first strategy, but you need to remember that strategy is the first one, and it will be iterated, and it should be iterated after first week and first month and first quarter when you get the better information. But and ideally that kind of strategy is very brave, because you need to be brave when you start and when you jump off, especially for example from fixed salary job.
Exactly, really good points. So to conclude this episode a bit, our top 3 advices to future co-founders and founders and other people founding their companies would be think the idea first and validate it, test it, try to sell it and calculate your profits and so on. Second, take care of the team and the competence and think if it's your case to do it alone or with someone or some other people. And third one is set goals from the day one, right?
Yeah, set ambitious goals and be ready to iterate everything after getting the understanding through the footwork with the clients.
Exactly. All right. I think that's all for today. Our couple of advices how to found a company and succeed or not.
Yeah. Hopefully succeed.
It can be good story or bad story, but at least it will be a story.
Yeah, that's the most important in your life.
Exactly. All right.
See
Thanks.
you on next episode.
Thank you for watching and see ya.
Bye.
Bye.